It's still not going. Welcome everyone to Analytics Are for the Nerds. We're missing someone today, but we've got someone very special lined up. And we're excited to show you. How's it going, Rye?
Hey, well, this is weird. It's just you and I. No Louie tonight. Maybe
No.
Louie later. We don't know, but we have a fun show nevertheless, and a great guest with us tonight.
We have an amazing guest, and I am so proficient that I do not want to waste any time or click on a video like an intro video. Who needs that? So I'm going to show you a very exciting person. I'm going to put her on right now. Please give it up for Stacy Perez. Hey,
Hello.
Stacey.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for letting me come on tonight and hang out with y'all. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. More importantly, forget us. I didn't do that video, but if you want me to sing the theme song, I can do it. But yeah, Ryan, do you want to do the rap?
Please do. Make up your own song if you want to.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's
Stacy,
really
how many times has this been now? 4, I think, or 5?
This is 4. Yeah, this is at least 4. Yeah, maybe 5, but at least 4.
Ooh,
right,
you got a new setup in the back. That's very fun.
Yeah. I got all my smutty romance books mixed in with my fantasy football stuff.
Ooh, is it smut? What do you got on there? Tell us.
Yeah, I've got some cowboy romances, and then I got some sports romances right here.
Hockey or football? Fantasy. What's going on?
Okay. Hockey, basketball, baseball, hockey.
Who has the dirtier sport?
I think the hockey players. Hockey players are the dirtiest by far, for sure.
Oh yeah. Not only do their equipment stink, but they are also scumbags. We love that. I've heard about the Ookie Cookie. It's disgusting. If you're like, what's that? Google it. It's disgusting. I went to a SUNY school for college, so they were very disturbing. Okay, so is that kind of like what's the high or the what's that fun Netflix show? Or HBO show?
I don't know.
Heated Rivalry. Is that?
Yes. Heated, yeah. So I think there could definitely be. That's a book, actually. I think it's a series.
You don't have it. You don't. Yeah, there's more than one.
No, I know. There has. I actually have not. I have not read that one yet. I've been a little bit lax in my reading this year, so I got to step it up.
Spoiler alert: they bang.
Yeah. Which part? Where
have you heard about that yet?
Yeah, it's like how many pages in before that starts?
Very quickly. Boys get it. Baseball. How's that one? I'm let's go Mets.
No.
Wait. Oh no.
I'm a Braves fan.
No. But I see. Do I see a little? I see a Blue Jays hat back there.
Those are hats of all the stadiums that I've been to.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I've been I have not been to Toronto, but I've been to the spring training facility down here.
Oh, very
well. That counted.
It does.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
It really counts. What's the beautiful romance novel of a baseball novel like?
Oh, okay. So we got these two right here. These are from Liz Tomford. She actually, and this one also technically. These are all series. That's kind of like a split off. This is her most recent one. But they're pretty good. They're like some, let's see, forbidden romance, work romance, right? We got like the team shortstop with like one of the team doctors, you know? And then we've got a coach's daughter with the star pitcher.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. A little single dad action in that one too. Yeah.
I love a single dad. I think I read some fan fiction back in the day on like Sidney Crosby. So but that was back when there was like just you would read it online. It was just someone's blog post.
My last experience reading a book about hockey was when it ruined Christmas for me. It was Matt Christopher's Wingman on Ice. It revealed that Santa wasn't real, and I was very devastated. Yes. Fuck that guy.
What day in the Christmas season was it when you found out in that chapter?
I mean, it was I don't remember what month or year, what it was, but I mean, I was crushed. I went downstairs. I demanded answers. I was like, "What does this mean?"
Oh, that's so sad.
And then what did your parents do? Tell you to go up to your room and that you're grounded?
No, they just kind of, I mean, they had to, they
Yeah.
just shrugged their shoulders. That was it.
They instead tell you how babies were born because they didn't want to tell you about Santa.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, poor
well,
bud.
while we have you, we might as well get this one over with too.
Yeah,
I
let's really
know.
make it the worst day of your life.
Oh, sad. Oh, so we're gonna do a fun little banner. And Stacey, you know this because you've been on the show.
Yeah.
I like to there you go. I like to produce with these labels. I like to do a little pop culture take and let Ryan's usually good at this, but let the other people know what's going on in the world. And so I like to tell things, whether it has to be sports related or not, pop culture. And so we've got a few things going on. So one is what I want to talk about. We kind of talked about it last week, spoke about it last week, but more details have come out. But Max Crosby. So apparently now they're just talking about, or they're not talking about, the Raiders are not talking about anything when it comes to him. They released a statement today that says Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby. We will have no further comment at this time. This was from the Raiders 23 hours ago. Today is the 18th. So that's kind of a very brave statement to post. Any takes on that? Any hot details anyone want to talk about the dear Max Crosby and how awkward it must be for him right now?
Well, Stacey, I don't know if you had seen his podcast appearance when he's talking about the whole day at length, but it was odd that he revealed that he didn't speak to the general manager until the end of the day. He didn't speak to the coach until the end of the day, and that all of this stuff was supposedly flagged by some doctor on the Ravens staff. But the timing of it still is really odd to me. That presumably this deal didn't come together overnight, right? I mean, this is building for quite some time. You have an opportunity to review the medicals, and it wasn't until the in-person physical that you're saying that's when it came up that there were long-term concerns. That both of those things, it cannot be true. So I do think that it smells pretty fishy. I think that they kind of had buyer's remorse and wanted to surveyed the market and said, hey, listen, we could have Trey Hendrickson, who's probably 85% of the player and maybe doesn't have the injury risk, and we don't have to give up assets. We just pay the same price. Let's just do that instead. So
my favorite meme that's going around is like Joe Burrow dressed as a doctor, and they're like, this is the doctor that flagged the medical report.
yeah.
He's going to be the happiest person in the world that Max Crosby isn't coming, over to his division. But yeah, I mean, I think it really is. Like, I think it's just buyer's remorse. I think they woke up and were like, oh my God, what did we do? We cannot actually do this. Because I mean, like, everybody's known that he had the knee surgery and that this has been a thing. Like, it wasn't a big surprise. I mean, it's like nobody did the, like the gotcha. Ooh, he's got this, injury. So I don't know. I think they got a little ahead of themselves and then immediately regretted it. And were like, what can we do to back out of this? And I think it's super embarrassing for them. And just, I mean, it just gives me the ick. It's so icky.
Do you think the phone call to Max was see what happened was like, do you think they were like, hey guys, oops. Like, do you think what do you think that conversation was?
Well, on the podcast, he said it was actually in person. And so the first time he meets the GM is when he's meeting the coach, and the GM is like off in like the lobby or in the hallway. And then he comes in and basically says, oh, there's this hiccup. There's this problem. And, one of the doctors flagged this, and, we need to get more opinions. And he kind of knew at that point that everything was falling through.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And then goes, has to fly back to Vegas. I mean, I guess it could be worse flying back to Vegas, right? But
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it stinks, but I don't know if what's worse is not being picked up by a team or that your team was willing to give you up. There's a lot in there, but I'm okay with having a player mentally not be happy at his team and not play to his potential when we play against him. So I'm okay with that. So All right.
Stacey, do you think he goes somewhere else? Just quickly, I mean, do you have any
Yeah.
thoughts? Do you think the trade still goes forward, or if he does he stay a Raider now?
So I think I don't think they can trade him now. I mean, if they're going to trade him, it's going to have to be a little bit later on. Like this, it's too soon now that all this has come out and it's been such an issue with the Ravens. Because this is like the lowest leverage they're going to have at this point, right? Because like the Ravens said no. So now if they start calling around everybody, it's they're going to be able to completely take advantage of the Raiders if they, chose to do that. So they're going to have to hang on to him for a little bit, and I guess show everybody that, like, hey, he's in a lot better shape than the Ravens thought, than everybody thought, and, try to get some, get his stock back up, because otherwise, I mean, you're just, because what was it, like 2 first rounders, something else? Like that's what was the Ravens were going to give up?
Yeah. Two first rounders. Yep.
Yeah. So I can't imagine they would get anything near that right now for him.
Allie, stay or go? What do you think?
Well, I'm just wondering, I think he's going to stay, but I wonder, would you stay with the Raiders if you were him, or do you think like the Jets will try to pick him up?
No, he's only going to a contender.
I know.
I mean, they'll do solid by him. It sounds like they're trying, they were trying to do him a solid too by even moving him. It sounded like that's what he wanted, but now he has to resign to the fact that, hey, we tried and this team kind of made it a mess. So
I wish I was at that bar next to Pete Carroll, who probably has so much stuff to say about it. I just would love to hear him just,
And the gum chewing too. You didn't hear all that too in the
between. You believe it? Oh, 100%. 100%. I love it. So on to great takes, everyone. So on to a lovely sport that we are, I know Ryan's been here, but the Masters Club dinner is coming up in honor of Rory McIlroy, and they just released the menu. And I know, Ryan, you went to the Masters and you got to see the pimento sandwich in real life. Stacey, are you a golf person?
No, I'm an embarrassment to my profession when it comes to playing golf. I came in last in a tournament once. I literally took golf lessons as like a ploy to try to meet men, and it is like totally backfired. I just need to stay away from the golf course.
The secret is keep your head up. That's what they all say. Just keep your head up. So there is a lovely, that's okay, by the way. It's still fun out there. It's good times. There is a lovely, though, menu that's happening. And I thought a fun game would be to just, guess the menu. Louis is not here. And what I think would be kind of fun so there's appetizers, a first course, a main course, and a dessert. And I think the first course, main course, pretty obvious, me looking at the menu, but I think the appetizers are pretty interesting. So I just figured, since Louis is not here, let's make it fun. And I don't know if you guys get one of these appetizers right. There's 4 that, like, Louis, I don't know, what do you want to say, like, owes us $10 each. What do you think, Blake?
Sure. I like free money.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. That's fine. Okay. So Masters, April 7th. Remember, it's the warmth. What do we think is one of the appetizers that are gonna be? Let's go, Stacey. Do you want to go first? You're our guest. Give me one.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be some kind of like flatbread, and I don't know. I mean, like, they're in Georgia, right? Masters is in Georgia. Georgia's known for their peaches. Why not some sort of like peach and cheese kind of, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a ricotta, something like that, like a peach and ricotta flatbread. That feels good. That sounds good.
That is exactly on the menu. That is what flatbread with balsamic, hot honey, and basil. So wow, amazing first pass. $10 to all of us from Louis. Thanks, Lou. Okay, let's go double or nothing. Ryan, do you want to give me? Again, there's 4 total appetizers. Stacey got it right on the nailed it right on the head. If you want to give me another appetizer, again, double or nothing for all of us. Okay, from Louis. What do you think? I don't know.
All right. Wow, flatbread. What a great. I mean, what a great get. I mean, so Rory's from Scotland, right? He's Scottish.
Mhm.
So I would think it'd be something like, bangers and mash, but that's not my guess. Because it's too heavy. You can't have that as an appetizer, right? And I feel like if just generally speaking, that would be an embarrassment. Or is that a British thing? Am I screwing that up?
I
No,
know
I
it's
think that's
definitely that.
That's Irish, and it's a little bit of
Yeah.
all.
all right. So that's too big. You need something smaller, a little bit easier to digest. So let's go with like a classic, right? Like a grilled elk slider. What do you think about that?
What? Did you just say a grilled elk slider?
Yeah. Is
That's
that it?
literally exactly on the
Let's
menu.
go.
Yo, let's go. Double
Oh,
or
Louis.
$20 each. Louis owes us. Wow, that's amazing. You got that. There's a grilled elk slider which has caramelized onion jam, roasted garlic aioli. That is insane. I can't believe you guys are have got wow. That is so impressive. Wow, my brain is blown.
How do we get invited to this dinner? Is this up for like grabs? Can we sneak in somehow? This
Yeah,
sounds
if
Only
you
champion.
actually put your head down when you play golf and not take my advice of keeping your head up, you're in. You're basically Ryan, isn't it? You have to basically be a winner, a previous
That's it.
winner.
oh, that's
Just
it.
all Masters champions,
Yeah.
previous, are
Oh.
invited for life. Yep.
Okay.
You get
So,
like a locker too in their like clubhouse where permanent locker. I remember watching at one point. This tells you. I mean, I'm not really describing it very well. I'm like, oh, you get a locker and it's great, but it is a pretty cool ceremony. I remember watching a documentary on it at one point, like what they do for the winners. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
yeah, when you go to a concert, Stacy, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh, there's going to be a ton of people to see here, and they're all people you're not interested in talking to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of kind of it. So, no, it is
I'm
really good.
just going for the flatbread.
I mean, the flatbread.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah.
bacon wrap dates, which is goat cheese and almonds. That sounds lovely, as well as, I mean, I'm vegetarian, so that doesn't sound lovely. But there's a rock shrimp tempura, or is just chicken fingers for shrimp, which has a creamy, spicy sauce. Okay, I guess, should we do one more? Okay, there's more menu. There's also a yellowfin tuna carpaccio, which is very light, I guess, if you're just a bunch of dudes smoking cigars and talking about golf. And then you can either choose a Wagyu filet mignon or a seared salmon. Brussels sprouts are included, onion rings, glazed carrots, because why not? And then sticky toffee pudding, which is a lovely, lovely English, English, not Irish, dessert. So, no.
Sounds amazing.
So I guess okay, so let's do one more. I mean, what's the weirdest thing I can think of? Like, how, okay, Ryan, you were just at Disney. Right? You were at Disney?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
2 weeks ago?
Yes, 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
My bad.
Stacey, have you ever been to Disney?
I live for like an hour away from Disney.
Oh, okay, very cool. So what's the weirdest thing I can ask you about Disney? I was just in Florida, but I've never gone to Disney World. Like all right. I guess for all like, so triple or nothing, right? And maybe you guys can both say it at the same time. What date did Walt Disney die? Do you guys know that? Okay, so let's do it. I'll count it down 3, 2, 1. If you guys have it in your brain, if you guess.
Well, really, I have to. I know this. I know this because
you know what too, Stacey?
Yeah, it's wow. Definitely. I mean, it's like a national holiday.
Okay, yeah. So Louis gonna owe us all. Is it $60 each now?
At least.
Okay, so 3
We're lawyers, Allie. We don't do math. We don't do the math.
You just
over here. Famously,
you just do. Okay, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna announce it. 3, 2, 1.
December 15th.
Yeah, well, that is accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you guys know that? That is so wild. You knew that Walt Disney died.
Flags are flown at half staff here in Florida on December 15th. Yeah, it's a thing.
Wow, Louis gonna owe all of us so much money. So thank you. And this is wild, and I can't believe everyone is so good at guessing things. It's really great. So I guess I have more things to talk about, but I guess we should go into sports, right? That was very sport-like. let's talk about. Let's go into some roster for your big board tournament. Does anyone want to talk about that?
Yes. Oh, can't wait to talk about this.
All right. Is this where we go into our best ways to construct your roster? You want to do that, or you want to do a little favorite player in the
I was hoping to get and Stacy, I want to get your takes on these, but really two things. I was thinking we could discuss some like macro player takes for just like roster construction, how you want to build your teams in the pre-draft best ball, right? In the underdog streets or the DraftKings streets, and then what player in each round like is the best pick in each round. And if you have like an honorable mention, that's fine too, because I do have honorable mentions for each round. But so yeah, why don't we first talk about just general draft strategies? Do you have any like approaches? Do you find yourself leaning towards a certain build, or when you look back on your drafts, are there certain teams that you like the best? What are your initial thoughts so far?
So this year, I actually have not done a ton of drafting yet. I've done some, but not as much as I normally do. But what I kind of like to do is I like to play around with some of the rookies, and I think it's cool, right? Because we're in the middle time between the combine and the draft where you don't really know their landing spots. So if you have a favorite rookie that you like, I think now's the time to go get them in your drafts, because this is probably going to be the cheapest that you're ever going to be able to go get those guys. Because once their landing spots hit, things are going to shake up, and you're probably not going to get Carnell Tate in like the 8th, 9th round, something like that. Now, like he's going to get steamed up wherever he goes. So you can get some really incredible value on those guys now. So I do like that. I like drafting this early. In the past, I'm like drafting on like Super Bowl Sunday for the following season. So like I like to draft all year round. But that's kind of one of my favorite things about drafting this early with so many different things unknown, is like just the great value that you're going to be able to snatch up before, things kind of get a little bit more, calm down, and exactly what the rosters are going to look like.
Well, and Stacy, you alluded to it as well. I mean, every year is different too, right? Mm-hmm. Because the classic saying of "don't hate the player, hate the ADP" is very true, right? There are players even this year that I had no interest in, and we'll talk about many of them soon. I had no interest in last year, and this year I'm very interested. So from my initial impression so far, there's a couple of themes that stood out to me. Number one is I really like the heavy running back early approach, because I've found that if you don't get at least like 2 to potentially 3 of those guys, within the first handful of rounds, I'm really not feeling good about my roster. The wide receiver heavy builds, they look good when you have all those stud receivers there. But if you don't have the points and you really can't get the ceiling out of the running back position, you're constantly going to be fighting an uphill battle. So there are just teams that are almost dead in the water if you ignore, positional requirements and things of that nature. So I found 2 to 3 running backs, let's say within the first 6 rounds, 7 rounds is very important. I also have found that ignoring or refusing to take quarterback at least by the middle rounds is a mistake. Elite quarterback is cheaper than it's ever been, right? We only really have Josh Allen going in the 3rd round right now. So as far as what the value says, I mean, the 8, 9, 10 round guys are where I think it's at this year. And I think you need at least 2 to 3 of them in a big board contest like this. And then from the rookie class, typically, Stacy, I'm on your team, heavy rookies, but there's a couple of things holding me back this year. Number one, I think it is a historically weak class. And even if we accept that there might be some depressed values that you're going to get some, to take advantage of right now, I think they're almost baking in. I think a lot of the public is baking in that cost already. So I'm really not interested as much in the rookies. I guess when it's a close call, I think in years past, I would have been really like slamming the pounding the table to get the rookie. In this year, I'm open to taking the second, or 3rd or 4th year guys instead, where you maybe have a little bit more of a sure thing. So those are just overall thoughts I have on what when I'm building my teams. I like heavy running back early. Tight end, I usually like to not do the elite tight end, go to the middle rounds, but I think we'll obviously get into some of these players. If you want to go, round by round, we can discuss kind of the reasons for each of our favorite players, or I can give you mine.
Yeah, I made a list here of mine too. And I also pulled up Fantasy Mojo, his ADP from the FFPC is never too early. Drafts from the last 7 days, just to see like where, kind of consensus wise, like where is everybody going, and
Sure.
the things they're going right now. So I've got that. But yeah, like I definitely have like a few of my favorites, but I think what you said too about the running backs, you're seeing so many more running backs going in the first round this year than you have in the past, or in the past like year or two or so. But that's pushing those receivers down. So you're getting really good value there in like the second and third round too. I mean, Justin Jefferson's going in the second round now. And I think with the addition of Kyler, I think that's a great value. If you can snag him in the second, I think that's going to pay off for you.
So Ellie, what do you think? Should we run through round by round and just kind of, round one, who's your favorite pick in round one?
I love that. Yeah, let's do that. And do you want to go up to 1 through 10? Do you want to do that way?
Sure. I mean, I have all the way prepared through 20 rounds, but if we don't want to do that, if Allie doesn't want to do that, we won't do that.
Let's go. Oh, Stacey, what do you feel comfortable with?
I'm good for the first 10. I picked out people through the first 10.
Okay,
yeah. I can go through 20, but I've got specific ones I'm thinking of for the first.
All right, check our website after the pod for the remainder of my picks. I'll have Louis put it up on the website.
Perfect. Okay, so let's Stacey, do you want to go first? Do you want us to back and forth? So you then Ryan. Okay, perfect. So round one.
Yeah, I've got to go Jahmyr Gibbs. With David Montgomery leaving, and they've just been using him more and more and more every year. He's just incredible. And for me, he's probably my number one pick. I know Bajan is up there too. But I really, really, really like Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not really concerned about Isaiah Pacheco coming in. So, I think it's going to be even more so at the Jahmyr Gibbs show there. So I just love that with Detroit. And if I can get like the first or second pick, like I'm going to try to get Gibbs absolutely in the first round.
All right. It's a match on the first one right there. I also have Gibbs. My reasoning is, well, first, it's, I think, the most valuable player in all of fantasy football right now for next year. And if you're comparing him to Bijan, there are big questions at quarterback, right? And I know he's done it in the past with bad quarterback play. But wouldn't you rather not have to worry about that with Jahmyr Gibbs now that Montgomery is gone? So yeah, I'm there. My honorable mention for this one is Genty. So if you're in the back half of the round, I love getting him anywhere from honestly 7. I'll take him as early as 7.
Awesome. Round 2.
Ooh. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson on this one, just for all the reasons I just mentioned. He's getting pushed out, because of all the stuff that went on last year, right? Because I think before last year, what have we said? Oh, he's quarterback proof, right? Like, he's Justin Jefferson. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. But then it did, because JJ McCarthy broke him. So he handled it incredibly well last year, but just like his numbers wise suffered so much. And people are obviously dropping him down. And, if you're just looking at numbers, okay, sure, that makes sense. But now they bring in Kyler. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to fix him. And I'm really excited to see what they do up there in Minnesota, even though I'm a Packer fan, so I'm not that excited. But I think fantasy wise, I think this is a really huge boost for Justin Jefferson. So if you can grab him in the second round, I think you're setting yourself up for success there.
I like that pick a lot. I think one of the ways to do this exercise is to try and identify the guys who at the end of the summer are going to rise the most in ADP. I think there's almost no doubt that Justin Jefferson's like a 7 or 8, pick 7 or 8 off the board by August. So I agree with you for sure. But actually, that's not my pick in this round. I just think it's a good reasoning behind your pick. I'll say Jeremiah Love, because again, just an early running back strategy. I think he's undervalued. There are just some people who maybe are still unsure about the landing spot. For me, these running backs almost very, very rarely fail. Even Ashton Genty last year. How many yards would you think Ashton Genty had last year?
Oh gosh, without looking at it, it's under 1,000.
No,
700.
No, he was like 1,100 yards combined. Yeah, I mean, I know it's combined rushing and receiving, but still, I mean,
Wait,
so
we're gonna
that's the
pause and go back.
I gotta go
I
back.
don't know, just quickly, how many, Stacey, just another quiz question. How many yards do you think Gentry had?
I think for rushing, he had 975 yards and 346 receiving.
Not a good.
Wow, Louis
There
owes us more
she is.
money.
There she is.
keep her running tab in the comments.
Yeah. Louis never going to miss another show again. It's costing him
Never
too much
again,
money.
no.
My honorable mention here for this round too is just Brock Bowers. So if you like to go tight end elite, I'm Bowers over McBride all day and twice on Sunday. So
Great.
This
All
year,
right, round
yes.
three.
Not last year, but this year I definitely am.
yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with George Pickens. And I have never been a George Pickens fan. I was even I didn't touch him last year. Even with him being in Dallas, I was like, I need to see it first. It's just not been like a good situation for him up until last year. And I think last year obviously really showed what he can do now that he's with the best quarterback that he's ever been with. 17.2, I think 17.2 fantasy points per game. You love it. So in round 3, if I can take George Pickens, absolutely. And I get, look, CeeDee Lamb he missed some time last year too, but I think that offense is high volume enough they can support both those guys, even being healthy the entire season. So if I can grab a Pickens in the 3rd, I'm absolutely doing it.
I like Pickens a lot. My pick is Travis Etienne, or I think that's the new way to say it. ADP of 30.4 on Underdog right now. I just really like his outlook next year. I think they're going to pepper him with all types of looks. And Kellen Moore is a really good offensive coordinator, and he's a head coach, but he runs a good offense. So I'm all about New Orleans next year. And if you're looking receiver here instead, my pick would be AJ Brown. He is likely, in my opinion, still to end up in New England, and I think he still has at least a year or two left in the tank.
Louis was on with me earlier this week, and we were talking about the Travis. I don't even know how to say his name now. Travis, or is it Achan? Is that how he's saying it? Like Devon Achan? Because we were like, they have the opportunity to do the funniest thing now, and we need to get Devon Achan on board to come out and be like, it's actually pronounced ETN. Thanks.
Yeah. We should ask AI. They'll have the answer. Whatever, I think right now, whatever you feel like saying, so it's good. All right, so let's go 4th round, right? So not quite in the middle. What are you picking, Stacey?
I'm gonna go Luther Burden on the Bears. Just really kind of came on the last half of last year. Now obviously DJ Moore gone to Buffalo, so opens things up a little bit. Look, I still think there's going to be a lot of balls going to Colston Loveland's way, but I really like where Burden is, and in the 4th round, I think that's a good spot for him. I think Buffalo. I think Chicago's offense is going to be even better than they were last. I think they were so ahead of themselves last year. I don't think anybody expected them to be as good as they were last year. But now I think they're just going to take that next step forward. And so I like Luther Burden there in the 4th. I think he's a fun pick if you're going. See, this is like telling on myself here too, because the only running back I've picked so far was Gibbs. And the rest I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh God, I don't have another running back until like the 6th round.
Do you think with Chicago that people are they're going to be more predictive of what they're going to do, or do you think no one knows how to read them still?
I think I trust Ben Johnson there to kind of keep it fresh, and I think there's probably a lot that is still gonna kind of come out that they were probably working on last year, haven't really perfected last year. So I'm pretty confident that they're gonna have a really good offense and not kind of face those issues where everybody's figured them out just yet.
Yeah, give it 2 more years, right?
Yeah.
Ryan, who do you have for number 4?
Burden was my honorable mention, so I'm very close with you on that. I'm aligned with you. My pick is actually Emeka Egbuka, and I know, of course, it's funny. I'm the Egbuka guy. I was last year. I just think that if Emeka Egbuka had done what a traditional rookie does, which is not a lot for the first couple of weeks and then explodes through the second half of the season, where do you think we'd be drafting him? We'd be drafting him in the 2nd round. All right.
Yeah,
and
easily.
I understand that he really faded out, but he was injured and Baker played awful. I think there's really just that is those are the two reasons why he kind of hit a wall in the second half of the season. And if I'm comparing him to DJ, I must have called him DJ Moore. If I'm comparing him to Luther Burden, I just think that with the questions about Loveland and the other mouths to feed in that offense, right? That is the only reason why I think I'm leaning Igbokwe. I think he's going to be the top dog there for sure. And so, but it's close. I've been kind of splitting those picks between Igbokwe and Burden, or taking them both oftentimes.
All right, fifth round.
All right, I'm pulling up some stats real quick for my next one. So for fifth round, I'm going to be a homer and I'm going to say Tucker Kraft. And this is, all right, if you're doing tight end premium, this is a good spot for him. If you're not doing tight end premium, it's probably a little early. But we're doing best ball here. So sometimes a lot of those I think are tight end premium. But Tucker Kraft, right? Through weeks 1 through week 8 when he got hurt. Actually, he got hurt in week 9, I think, 8 or 9. Anyway, he was leading all tight ends. Like, he was looking completely unstoppable. And I think it just goes to show, I mean, like, the Packers didn't even really have an answer for what to do, like, once they lost him. Just what he was bringing to the table was just, he just looked amazing. I'm trying to, let me see. He had 2 touchdowns, 140. Wait, is that per game? That's per game. All right. So don't ignore that. I thought I was going to try to find all of his numbers up through that week, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm trying to look at numbers, but anyway, Tucker Kraft there. So he's injured. He's had plenty of time to come back. Like I said, I don't think the Packers have found a way to replace what he does. So I'm a big fan of his. I like him in the 5th round. My honorable mention was Devontae Adams, though, also Matt Stafford's favorite little red zone target in the 5th round. So again, I can't get away from the receivers.
Well, I have
nicknamed to be the little red zone. Matt Stafford's little red zone target.
That's like it's a line from one of my smutty books.
Yeah, exactly. You little red line. So good. Ryan, speaking of smutty, who do you have for your 5th round?
I have a guy I wanted nothing to do with last year on any of my rosters, Mike Evans at ADP of 51.3. And this is Devontae Adams 2.0, and it's cheaper. So I don't understand why people are still not correcting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to change. I think he's going to be like a 3-4 turn pick within a couple months, like 2 months. The buzz will start happening. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 there. There's no Kittle the pieces will start connecting. It's going to be a CMC offense with Evans just dominating targets, to move the ball down the field. They'll have Purcell, moving the chains, but I just think Evans is going to be the guy. And they signed him to a 3-year deal. So I think they might have 2 years of him at least. My honorable mention is just BTJ. I'll throw it out there because I still think the talent's there. A guy who had 1,280 yards as a rookie, is just not going to fall off like this. I'm not betting on that. He's got an ADP of 60.7 right now. I think that's just like a massive wealth, opportunity.
Yeah. Lots to prove this season as well. All right. 6th round. What do we got, Stacey?
So here's my running back finally. And it's really, now that I'm looking at my list, it's kind of funny that I picked him. So it's David Montgomery. So of course, my first running back is Gibbs. Now I'm going to go take David Montgomery. But in his new home in Houston. And I just love this for him because now he's like the guy, right? He's taking over that lead role there. They really needed some help in their run game. I do like Woody Marks kind of backing him up. I feel like they're going to kind of be that Sonic and Knuckles South, but now David Montgomery gets to take that Sonic role instead of the Knuckles role. And this is kind of what the Texans were missing last year. So, I think they've got to get some issues with their offensive line kind of fixed, but, for an RB2, because that's what you're looking at in this range, he's a starter and he doesn't have a ton of competition there behind him. They're going to use him. So I just like the usage and the production that I think that we're going to see out of David Montgomery this year. And at the value there, I think that's an easy pick for me.
All right. Ryan, who do you have for 6th?
I have Marvin Harrison Jr. Same kind of logic as BTJ is, the talent's going to win out. And in these rounds, I just sometimes, if you're playing Dynasty in the middle of a best ball draft and you're like, all right, who would I really want for multiple years to come and try to just like project that's kind of what we're doing here. My honorable mention pick is Jordan Tyson. I know I'm not huge into the rookies, but I like getting the rookie of like the last of a tier, right? And they talk about the top 3 guys having a tier of Tate, Lemon, and Jordan Tyson. And who knows? Tyson could very well be the best of them, and he's the cheapest right now. So I'll take the shot on him.
Oh, so I was just gonna say the rookie, like our minds must be like melding because I was gonna take a rookie wide receiver with my next one in 7.
Who's your rookie for 7?
All right, so I've got Mekhi Lemon. Love Mekhi Lemon. I think, do you know when they say like you want a wide receiver who is a little crazy? That's kind of what like the vibe I get from Mekhi Lemon, and I love it. And so like I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite rookie receivers. Do like Tyson a lot as well, Cornell Tate, obviously. But like those are my kind of top 3 guys. And this is a good spot, I think, if you're gonna roll the dice on a rookie. Like you've already kind of got your starting, roles filled out here. So go grab somebody that, like is probably gonna end up in a spot where he's going to get work, immediately, right? He's going to be able to have an instant kind of impact on a team. So Mekhi Lemon in the 7th for me.
Love it.
I went Harold Fannin Jr. I love. I mean, I know that there's some like Fannin truthers out there. I wouldn't consider myself one of them, but he had a really amazing rookie season with just not a lot at quarterback. Or around him at the time. So I think he's going to have another big season. And if you're looking quarterback in this range, I really like Herbert here. I think he's going to outproduce his ADP. I know I've bought into the Chargers so many years, but Mike McDaniel there now, I think he's got significant untapped rushing upside, similar to, what Trevor Lawrence did. And he actually did have a decent rushing year last year, just without the touchdown. So I like Herbert a lot.
All right, we're closing in. 8th round pick. Stacy, who do you have?
I'm going with our MVP, Matt Stafford. I mean, you got him for free last year. You're not going to be that lucky this year. He's going pretty high. High for quarterbacks, right? But I like him in the 8th round here. I just, I don't really know what else you can say about him. I mean, if you didn't get scared off last year, right, with the age, with the weird back issue, with that bizarre trailer that they had rolled up at, like Rams training camp, then we shouldn't be scared off of him this year either. Because if you can make it through all that last year, I don't really know that much has changed other than him being just 1 more year older. And I mean, who among us at that age has not had back issues, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Stafford. I will take Stafford and his 46 league leading touchdowns. Thank you.
I love it.
Well, it's from the old guy to the young guy, because I'm going to go with Jackson Dart here. Jackson Dart will likely end up being, at the end of this draft cycle, my most drafted QB1, I would predict. I just really love the profile. I think he's so underrated. I think he is the closest, the chance that we'll have to find like another Jaden Daniels is Jackson Dart. And for whatever reason, maybe it's the injury or, the team around him or the off season and them not getting like a bona fide number 1, although they already have one in Neighbors. I just don't get why there's not more excitement about this player. He had an electric rookie season. And then if you're going wide receiver here, I love Jordan Addison's price of 90.5 ADP. He's playing with Kyler Murray. And if you're looking on it for an arbitrage play on Jefferson at, a fraction of the cost, why not go for it?
And just to call you out, Ryan, if you're like, hey, no, why isn't anyone picking him? You picked him 8th. You could have imagination picked him 1. So
yeah, well, hey, listen, you can't do that though. You got to play the game. You can't. My favorite player is Travis Hunter in this draft, and I still have 62% of him. But you don't have to draft him till 150. So
yeah, I respect it. All right, number 9 for your 9th pick, Stacy. Who do you have?
All right, I can't quit Ricky Pearsall. I love I don't love the Evans signing in San Francisco because as a Tampa fan, it has like broken our hearts. I'm a Packer fan first and foremost, but I live in Tampa, so go Bucks. But yeah, I like the signing there with Evans. I think that opens things up a little bit for Ricky. You're not going to have George Kittle for a little bit in the beginning of the season, so I think as long as he can stay healthy, he'll be good there. And it just blows my mind that he missed so much time last season, and the season before came back after like 4 games after being shot. And then this year it was like a hamstring that did him in the entire season, right? It was a hamstring, I think. Am I right on that?
Yep.
Yeah, the hamstring, like that just is wild to me that it caused, so many issues with him getting on the field. But yeah, I think it's a great offense. I think third year, I think things finally start clicking, there. And I like Pearsall there in the 9th round. You'll get him, I think, a lot cheaper than you did last year because he and Mecca were going in a lot of drafts I was doing, especially towards when the season started, like back to back. And I was trying to get so many teams where I could get them both on the same team. And that it just couldn't happen because they were going right around the same time. But I think you get some good value on Pearsall. I think he'll fall a little bit this year.
My pick is Blake Corum at running back. A 6-round difference between Kyren Williams, which he was going around like pick 34, and Blake Corum, who's going around a pick 100 right now. Just doesn't make any sense to me. The split was an almost even split. In each year, there's been a decrease in the amount of work that Kyren Williams is getting. I've bet against it every year, the last 2 years, and have been kind of right in the sense that the workload's going down. I think this is the year you have, even more work to Blake Corum or even another mystery back in the backfield. So yeah, I like taking the shot here on him. And for wide receiver, I'll go Wan'Dale Robinson, another underrated receiver who has just gotten. You can't earn that many targets in the NFL and not be good at receiver. I understand everyone calls it, a PPR scam, but listen, he's getting the ball because he's open and he catches it and he can, he makes plays. So I think they're going to do a lot of that in Tennessee with a familiar face and Brian Daboll as his offensive coordinator.
I mean, you can call it a scam all you want to. He's still producing. He's getting you those points. So I'm always huge Wan'Dale fan. Grab him and snag him at the end of drafts.
All right. Your final pick, Stacey Prez. Who do you have?
Okay.
Yeah, just quickly, firstly, I thought it would be so funny that I thought we had enough time to go through all 20. Like, we would never have made it.
You're a good-hearted attorney. I love that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm going to bill you for the hour 3.
We always underestimate how much time it's going to take us to get through something. You're like, oh yeah, Judge, we only need an hour. No, that's 3 hours.
So good. So who do you have for your final pick, Stacey?
So I've got, I put Kyler here. I looked to see where he was going in the last couple days. We already talked about Kyler. So I don't have anything new to say about that. But I also put here Brenton Strange is a tight end that I really like. And, the reason why, so I went back through, I was looking at his numbers, right? Had the most targets of his career, most yards, most touchdowns all last year. The Jacksonville didn't bring in anybody to challenge him in tight end, right? Everybody else that they've got there is more of a blocking tight end. Second year in a row that he's going to be in this offense. Second year in a row that he's going to be the number 1 starter tight end there with, like I said, without anybody there to, kind of steal, the targets from him. And I just like what Jacksonville's doing. I think they've finally got it together. They're finally clicking. They're going to be a high volume, passing offense. And I think Brenton Strange is a big part of that. I don't see that changing this year. So he's kind of I'm almost like a sleeper tight end. I think people kind of got wise to him, a little bit towards the end of the year last year. But I mean, he's still one that people aren't thinking of right off the bat when they're going to go out and get a tight end. And he's a starter on a great offense. So to me, if you wait on tight end, if you hold off a little bit there, like he's somebody that you can go get a little bit later, kind of fill out the rest of your roster with those, higher positions, and then go grab you Brenton Strange, towards the middle.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. And I think part of the reason I'm so interested in staying away from the elite tight end strategy is because I can get somebody like Brenton Strange in round 10. When he was healthy, they were featuring him. And I know that there are plenty of receivers and, an offense that is very diverse, but he is the number one tight end there, no question. And they need that in this offense. So I'm 100% with you on that. My pick was also Kyler Murray for the 10th round. He's going to go up to probably like the 8th or so, like right around where Dart and Herbert and Lawrence, I think, are going, somewhere between 7 and 8, I would say. And my honorable mention here is Kenny Gainwell, because I do like that signing a lot for the Bucks. I think he's going to play a lot more than people realize. I think he's a lot better than people realize, and I'm a little worried about Bucky Irving, even though I've really never been a Bucky guy.
Bucky and Kenny G, what a combo!
Your Tampa boys right there.
Yeah,
great draft, everyone. Who wants to do 10 more rounds? Let's go.
Me.
No, I can't hear you. What? So we're gonna do something kind of exciting for March Madness. As March Madness started, you can come to Buffalo to see the great Michigan State play. Sorry, Ryan, for the Ohio State, but we're gonna go. I'm gonna give you 2 players. You're gonna tell me who you would pick. Who's gonna win that round? So for each week for the next 4 weeks, we're going to take a different position. This week, we're going to do the tight end bracket. Make sense?
Yes.
I'm in. Okay. So let's go. Rob Gronkowski versus who's the number 1 slot versus the number 16, Todd Christensen. Who do you have winning this round? Who wants to go first? You're going to go Gronk, right? You're going to go Gronk.
It's so funny. Todd Christensen. I only know one Christensen. His name is Mike Christensen. He's a friend, but no, I don't know Todd Christensen. I can't imagine he was anywhere near the tight end that Gronk was, who is, I think, the greatest tight end of all time.
Yeah.
So not to give any foreshadowing here, but yeah, Gronk wins the layup matchup against some guy who also probably had a part-time job in addition to playing tight end.
Yeah. And Stacey, can you show everyone your Todd Christensen jersey that you have?
Yeah, we just pull it out back here. I'm actually embarrassed to say that I had to look up who Todd Christensen was because I had never heard of him before. He was a broadcaster apparently. After he retired, he went to broadcasting.
Why wouldn't he? What a good name, Todd Christensen.
Right.
So
yeah.
Going big TC there. Is that what
yeah, for the upside, definitely. That's number 1.
Locking in Gronk, everyone, right? We all agree. All right. Next up, hopefully you know that this person is not related to the great Julie Andrews. Mark Andrews in the 15th spot versus the number 2 spot, Travis Kelce. Who do you have?
Oh, you gotta go Travis. I think you do. You have to go Travis Kelce, for all the reasons that, I mean, he's just, but on and off the field, he's fantastic. I gotta go TK over here.
Well, I'm going to limit to my discussion to on the field performance, but yes, I would still think on the field performance, he still takes the 2v15 matchup here. Mark Andrews is okay. He had like 2 years where he was trying to convince everyone he was an elite tight end. But I don't think he really is, and I cannot believe the Ravens gave him that contract. Maybe that was a parting shot by Harbaugh to find a way to get that done or something before he left. I don't know. It's a bad move, but yes, Kelce gets the win here.
Wow, shots fired, and you're spitting bars there, Ryan. So that was hot take. All right, next up. Jeff Bezos's wife's ex-husband, Tony Gonzalez, versus who's in the 2 spot versus not a billionaire's ex-wife's Jordan Reed, who's number 14. Tony Gonzalez or Jordan Reed? Who do we have?
Wait, that is I never knew that. I didn't know that.
You guys, this is why you have to be a pop culture enthusiast like I am. Yeah.
And wait, isn't Tony Gonzalez on the Amazon Prime broadcast?
Yes. Bro. Yeah.
Now does it all make sense?
Mine is blown. I have an off the field stat about him, but it was not that. I did not know that one.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, our numbers are going up. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, just a little fun. Is it fun fact or is it just a fact? But yeah,
That's
Tony
a fun fact.
What if it was really wrong and I'm so wrong and everyone's like, no, it's this guy. No,
Just say it with confidence.
yeah, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez versus who? Who is he going up against?
Your
Here?
mind is so it doesn't even matter now. Jordan Reed.
No.
No, Jordan Reed can't stay healthy. Come on. I mean, he would have been good, but he just couldn't stay healthy. That guy, poor guy.
Yeah. And he didn't date Sofia Vergara. That's what I had as my off the field for Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, he's got a type. Yeah,
he does.
Very beautiful.
He dated Sofia Vergara, whatever. Yeah. I can't say her last name.
Can you anglicize her name a little bit more, Ryan?
I can't. Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't. Anything else besides it.
All right, so Tony, can you say Gloria Estefan for me? No. Please. Okay, so next up we have Jason Witten versus who's number 4 versus the 13th spot of Dallas Clark. Who do we have?
When I think of tight end, like literally Jason Witten comes to mind. You know, like he's one of the first people that playing that position just as long as he did. I love Dallas Clark. I was a big Colts fan back in the day when he was there with Peyton, but I gotta go Jason Witten with this one. I think it's not even close.
Yeah, Dallas Clark is the most Madden tight end ass name of all time for sure. I cannot with him. I'll take Jason Witten here. Yeah, he was better, I think, than Dallas Clark.
Amazing. Now I will not do an impression, but I feel like Louis would do the impression of this person, but the great man at number 5, Shannon Sharp versus number 12, Ben Coates. Who do we have? You're thinking of his.
I do know who Ben Coates is, but I had to look up some stats because I was like, what did Ben Coates do to get ranked at 12 here above these other guys? And he actually had a serious run in the 90s with 5 or more touchdowns in 6 consecutive seasons. Love those numbers, but I don't think it's any match for Shannon Sharp, and I'm definitely not going to do an impression of Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I love Shannon Sharp, and I think he is just what a character.
Wild. I love it.
I love Shannon Sharp, and great podcast too. Ryan, who do you have?
Yeah, I don't know what Ben Coates was like off the field, but I can't imagine he was a Shannon Sharp. He's definitely losing this battle. I mean, all of the early seeds. I mean, this will get interesting when it gets down to it, but man, the higher seeds are smoking it right now.
I would say if we're even playing the game now, we are playing the game now, but if they were coming out and they're all playing together, I would put some good money on Shannon Sharp getting higher ranked than 5th. I'm just saying. I love Shannon Sharp. All right. Another amazing broadcaster, the kind Greg Olsen. He's number 6 versus the great Zach Ertz. Who do we have?
This gets a little tougher for me. I actually just looked up their career stats versus each other. Ultimately, I took Greg Olsen because I think he's probably one of the best broadcasters out there right now. But Zach Ertz, 57 touchdowns. Greg Olsen, 60. Both of them have over 8,500 yards, right? It's like their numbers are so similar that it's tough to, if you're just looking at that to figure it out. But I'm always a Greg Olsen guy. Yeah. Although Zach Ertz was great for us last year and the year before in fantasy, as a sleeper tight end. But he's still unsigned, right? He's still a free agent. The Commanders cut him loose.
He's injured.
He's still injured. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he might be unsigned. I'm not sure what his status is, but yeah, this one is tougher. You're right. I mean, especially now that you've recited some of those numbers at being so close. From my recollection of them is that Olsen was like better for a shorter period of time, and Ertz was just like a longevity play. So I'll also go with Olsen, even though I do think it's probably really close. And I think really good arguments can be made for Ertz because, going from Philly to Arizona, which wasn't really that great for him. And then going to Washington and kind of surprising a lot of people, I think was good for his career. But still, I don't think he's up here, which is where Olsen was.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Number 7 is Antonio Gates versus the number 10th ranked Jimmy Graham. That's just rock, paper, scissors at that point, right, everyone?
No, it's not. I'll tell you why. One, Antonio Gates had a cameo in the league in the first season where he's in the hot tub with Kevin. And but also you could argue for Jimmy Graham because I don't know if you guys remember this or not. But apparently it was in 2014. I had to look this up. I thought I remembered something, but I looked it up just to make sure. He argued to be classified as a wide receiver for franchise tag purposes because obviously the money for wide receivers is a lot higher than the money for tight ends. It went to arbitration and he did get ruled against, which is a bummer for him. But it would have increased his salary from, it says 7 million to over 12 million. So, big deal there for him. But yeah, he tried to say that he was a wide receiver so you get paid more. And I love it. I love the hustle.
Yep. Thinking big, which, changed
outside
the game.
The box.
Yeah, 100%.
To me, that is such a poser move. I mean, you don't even consider yourself to be a tight end. And I'm supposed to vote for you to beat Antonio Gates, who was unquestionably a tight end and a really good one at that. No, Antonio Gates is the man. And Jimmy Graham also just like pissed me off for most of his career. I mean, he's in Chicago. He's got, whatever. And then he goes to New Orleans. He's got the weird hair going on. Like, no, I'm done with him. Fuck Jimmy Graham with that. I want to be a wide receiver. No, you have to be a tight end.
Sometimes the caterpillar just wants to be a butterfly and you got to let them do that though. Come on. I think that's how that analogy works. Okay. So final big pressure on this. We've got a shocker. We should have actually went lowest to highest, but let's go number 8 seeded Vernon Davis versus number 9. So very equal Jeremy Shockey. What do we got?
I'm giving the edge to Shockey only because can you imagine him with Scattaboo and Jackson Dart on the Giants? Oh my God, that would have been amazing. That's how I decided I love it. There.
Tight end is a visceral position, and I mean, I just would much rather have Jeremy Shockey playing that. And I get it. Vernon Davis was a stud, and you can't. He easily could be like a 6 or a 5 or 6 seed here, no question. You could swap him with Olsen if you wanted, but I'm taking Shockey. I think he's just like he's an animal out there. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, he would fit in so perfectly with them right now. I mean, could you imagine he
could fit in anywhere. I mean, when he came out of the U, he was one of the best tight end. I mean, still is. Like if you look at his numbers, it's just like an incredible prospect. Yeah, he was so good. And it's certified crazy person, which was so important on the field. Like you needed that with him. He was great.
You do. It's such a great, personality trait of a tight end that you're a little crazy also like off the field and on the field too, who knows? But yeah, I feel like that's what separates the really good tight ends from the elite ones.
When you guys say a crazy football player, I think of Antonio Brown and I'm like, I don't know if we want people to be crazy. So,
different kind of crazy.
Yeah,
there's
the good crazy.
Right.
Good crazy. Well, Stacey, thank you so much for coming on. You are on Fantasy and Frames. Anything else you want to talk about that for a second? Or
yeah, actually. Thanks. So tomorrow night we've actually got our 4th draft in the women's best ball tournament that we're doing over there. And so we're going to be doing that for the entire month of March for Women's History Month. We're doing best ball drafts and they've just been so much fun to do. This is I just can't even believe this year we've got 7 divisions going in March, of all times without knowing, any of the landing spots or stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to be doing that tomorrow and for the rest of the month. So just really, really excited and fun to, get in with all the ladies in drafting this early.
Amazing.
Well, I'll make sure to send over my rounds 10 through or 11 through 20 best picks in each round. So you have that cheat sheet for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Happy Women's History Month to you. And Hot takes, Vernon Davis. So thank you so much, Stacey. Ryan, thank you for being on tonight. And it looks like Louis owes us all, we said $60 each. So look for that Venmo. So thank you again. Good luck tomorrow. And thank you everyone for tuning into Analytics Are for the Nerds.